Amazon says its services are recovering again after connectivity issues persisted throughout the morning. Reports of problems with Amazon's cloud computing services unit, AWS, continue, but it didn't stop there either. Other services like Venmo, Snapchat, Facebook also affected. Airlines, including Delta and United, reporting disruptions for some of their systems as well. Seems like to be across-the-board issues. Let's check in with tech reporter William Antonelli here. William, I think you don't realize how much we're all interconnected by using this system here and how it really affects just about everybody. What happened?
Absolutely. To that point, when people think of Amazon, they think of, oh, that's where I get my clothes from. That's where I get my toys from. But the fact is that one of Amazon's biggest services is this, Amazon Web Services. They've had it since 2002, and it currently powers about a third of the internet. To your point, that includes things like Venmo. That includes things like Fortnite. Just today, I tried to order coffee at Starbucks. The Starbucks app was down, things like that. In terms of what actually happened, it's not that complicated, which might sound funny. Essentially, what it was a DNS error. And here's what that means. When you type an address into your computer's browser, like let's say you want to go to Amazon.com, your computer doesn't speak English. It speaks in numbers. So what DNS does is it converts Amazon.com into numbers that your computer can understand, an IP address. The issue that was happening today was essentially that process, the process that converts into IP addresses, was down. And so sites like the Starbucks app or like Venmo, when they were trying to access their data servers, suddenly they couldn't find it anymore because they couldn't get those IP addresses. So that created a whole cascade of errors, which resulted in half the internet going down.
Wow. You would think that there would be like other mechanisms, plan B, C, D, considering that so much, to your point, of the literal world surrounds and is used through AWS, that would have catapulted the next plan B into place to make this work. Is there any sort of mechanism like that, or is this the DNS was the only thing standing in between what you write and then an IP address?
It's hard. There's often a joke that people tell that the entirety of the world's internet infrastructure is essentially being held on by one piece of thread. And that's pretty true in this case. DNS is a very, very basic subsystem of computing. It's something that you have in all of internet browsers. Every computer, every internet-enabled device is able to access it in some way. So when it goes down, it really is like essentially losing an engine in a jet plane. It's something that is so critical that everything needs it to function. And when it comes to, is there a plan B? Is there, what do we do when something like this happens? This is a sort of a symptom of what happens when you put so many companies put all their eggs into one basket. Amazon Web Services powers about a third of the internet right now.
Wow.
And, however you feel about Amazon or monopolies or regulation or things like that, the fact is that when you put so much into one company and that one company has issue, then suddenly everyone has an issue.
Yeah, and to that point as well, is there not a competitor here to AWS where there would be the possibility to use something else than just a third of the internet using AWS?
Oh, certainly there are. And again, to the point, Amazon only powers about a third of the internet. We also have things like Google or Microsoft Azure. They are other cloud computing services. Unfortunately, they just don't offer the breadth of features and also the pricing that Amazon Web Services does. That's really the big thing. And just Amazon Web Services has become so ubiquitous, so easy to use, that when a new company starts or a new server goes online and they're thinking, okay, who do we go to for our hosting? Yeah. Amazon Web Services is just the default, essentially.
They've essentially cornered the market here, as has Amazon, for lack of a better term, on just about everything else. All right, so what's the lesson learned here overall? Is there one to be taken here?
If there's a lesson learned for the entire industry, it would essentially be, to your point, maybe foster more competition in the cloud computing space. But honestly, there's not a lot that individual websites can do. I mean, Venmo didn't do anything wrong, for example. It really was just something that went wrong on Amazon's end. And to that point, Amazon really didn't even do anything wrong. Glitches like this happen sometimes. It's just, computers are strange, mysterious. Even the people that work on them sometimes don't entirely understand how they work inside. So it's just a matter of, you got to hope for the best sometimes. And if something goes down, you just got to rush to fix it.
I know some things are coming back online at this hour. When can we expect it all to be back to how it was operating prior?
I would hope within the day. If not, then within a few days. Amazon is already reporting that most of its issues have been worked out. I know that as an hour ago, I was still having some issues with apps, and certainly I think you'll expect to see them throughout the day. And also, as things come online again, you might run into some issues as all of a sudden all the requests that were being backed up suddenly start spilling through the pipeline again. But I would say within a day, and if not within a day, then definitely within the week.
All right. Well, I hope you found a workaround there for your Starbucks. That's important.
I had to go in and order in person like a Neanderthal.
Wow, it's no longer 2025. You have to step back into 1999. What a time. Good to see you, William. We appreciate it.
Thank you.